Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about some images that have been in the news recently. They are satellite images of a Iranian satellite launch facility which recently suffered a failed launch in the recent weeks. There's 3 images, all of increasing spatial resolution, and I'm going to talk about all 3 of those, and hopefully you find it interesting. Right, so this is the first satellite image. It's from a company called Planet Labs. Experts indicate that the resolution is about 3 meters per pixel. And so what that describes is the ratio of ground to pixels in the image. To give you an idea of how much is depicted in this tile. You can see some buildings, there's some roads, and the main feature, you can see a fire, black smoke. That's the launch pad. And doing some research on the Planet Labs website, I'll shift over quickly to some of their documentation. They use a UTM, Universal Transverse Mercator, which is a cylindrical map projection. Again, relatively large scale map tile. It shows a small area of the globe at fairly high resolution, but we can beat that. Here we see an image by a company called Maxar. The scale is much greater in resolution. You can see more detail on this picture, so increasing spatial resolution. It's also a cylindrical map projection. I didn't get detail from Maxar on the specific projection that's utilized, but it looks very similar to the UTM that was used by Planet Labs. Again, this is a large-scale map, and it shows more detail of clearly the same area that the first map had. All right, this brings us to the third image. The same launch site at a much higher resolution. The source of this image is a tweet from President Trump talking about the failed launch. And the reason it's made a lot of news is because if you look carefully at the image, it appears that there's a camera flash noticeable. This is a photograph likely of the original source. The original image source is not disclosed. And analysts, satellite trackers, amateur astronomers believe that it's from a spy satellite due to the resolution, which their math has imputed about 12 centimeters per pixel in terms of resolution. So a lot higher spatial resolution if you compare that to 3 meters per pixel in the first photograph that we saw. Here we see an azimuthal projection of the Earth and the flight path of satellite USA 224. This image was borrowed from the Twitter feed of a space sleuth who's positing that USA 224 was in the correct area at the correct time to take an image like the one tweeted. Should it have those capabilities? Can't say for sure, but he's plotted out the flight path here. You can see that toward the edges of the disk, it's bunched up very, very tightly, indicating that an observer would not appear to see much movement minute to minute there because it's traversing around the sphere, but toward the middle of the disk, it has spaced out some. If you're interested in reading more on this topic, the president's original tweet remains out there. You can grab the high resolution image from that. There's also an article with more annotated images on Wired magazine. I think that was either September 3rd or 4th. And NPR on the 26th or 28th of August 2019 released those first 2 images as well. And there's many more articles kind of tying this all together and trying to put it together. What you're looking at now is the Twitter handle of one of the astronomers who created that azimuthal projection that we just looked at, as well as a great GitHub repository that walks through the steps he took to come to his conclusions. So if you're interested, I hope you had a good time, and you can go there for more information.